And we're back with another episode of On the Record with Tiffany Jones Smith. And we're here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, our original home. And we can also be seen on the African American Network Television, TAN TV, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And today I'm here with my special guest, the Public Relations Manager for Dream Week, Miss Lisa Jackson.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Lisa, thank you so much for coming out today and being willing to talk with us a little bit about Dream Week. You know, we're coming up on such a historic time in our history as African Americans. Tell us a little bit about what Dream Week is and why you all are doing this.
Well, this is our 10th year, so I want to start that off. This is the 10th anniversary of Dream Week. And so Dream Week was founded by Shokari Nakapadia. I'm always messing with a name. Shokari Nakapadia. I've been saying that. How many years have I been saying? We call him Sho, and he's such an eloquent man and a visionary at that. He is the founder of Dream Week, and I just wanted to say we're in our 10th year. But Dream Week is a collection of events that last over 2 weeks, starting in the month of January, and it's surrounded by the dream of Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King. Now, our official logo is an exchange of ideas, and we want to inspire in a discussion, and we want to ignite change. And the main thing is we want to ignite change. Y'all, I cannot talk today.
Well, no, you're doing just fine. Our audience, I really wanted to bring this on because Dream Week and conservatives really go together. And many people will act like, no, that's not true. But our history is American history. Mm-hmm. And so there's every aspect to be seen. And, I love the fact that Dream Week has included the conservative mindset as well into what's going on.
Well, we didn't include the conservatives and we didn't include the liberals. We included everybody.
Everybody.
And that's the goal of Dream Week. No one political party or idea has a hold of the dream.
That's right.
The dream is for everyone.
And no party or idea is excluded from the dream.
Exactly.
So this is an inclusive, when Dream Week says inclusive, that's exactly what they mean. The goal is for us to hear from all sides and for everyone to feel heard, listened to, and accounted for.
And to feel welcome. Everyone is welcome under this tent.
I love that. Can you tell us some of the activities? Because there are over 200 activities. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, there's something for everybody. This year we have over 200 activities. We have 150 vendors, and we have a lot of new vendors. See, the tent is getting bigger. So
that's right.
A lot of new vendors that have come in this year. So, as usual, we're going to have people doing art exhibits or expressing themselves, artistically. So we have poets, we have artists, physical artists, we have authors, we have live music entertainment, sculpture, everything under the sun that you can express yourself artistically, we'll have that. There are people who are doing political talks. There are people who are doing specific target market events and talks. There are always, because this is San Antonio, there's always some food involved. So we have restaurant and food involved.
Now, we have
fashion shows. Yeah, we got fashion shows coming through. I mean, again, the idea is to ignite change and to inspire discussion. So anything that is of a dream can be expressed here during Dream Week.
And I love the original dream that Martin Luther King Jr. had, was for us all to be able to unite. It was a dream of unification and not division. So I love the fact that Dream Week unites across academics, across academic spectrums, across genres of music, of just about every business
language
idea, across cultures.
Yeah.
You know, Dream Week really brings in everything. I know they're doing a healthcare panel, and they're looking at holistic health along with science, and all of it has a place. A voice is being given to every group. You just have to be willing to step up and say, I want to represent us. I want to represent the group that I want to represent our ideology, whatever that may be.
We have women from the Middle East doing programs. We have Mexican American and Mexican National. We have LGBTQ coming through. I mean, it's everything. It's everything.
You know, and that I say that, you know, listen to what Ms. Jackson is saying, because that means that all Americans are accepted in this in the tent of Dream Week. So if you have an opinion, now is the time to express it, to come out and meet other people that are different from you and learn. It's a great way to get yourself out there and be a part of the discussion instead of at home and alone.
Right.
Get out there and be a part of the
typing on your keyboard. Express your feelings like that.
You know, let's join together and do the best for our country and our city. And Dream Week provides us the opportunity to do that.
I love it.
And when I first moved to San Antonio, Dream Week, I think like my second year here, I discovered Dream Week and started volunteering. And it was the best experience. It's a wonderful experience to volunteer with some of the activities at Dream Week, because you really learn about stuff that I had never been to the Museum of Fine Arts here, and I got to see all of the beautiful work that they do with kids. I didn't know that they had so many classes for children there, you know, and just my love for the arts grew because of Dream Week.
I'm glad to see we did something. That's good. I mean, those are the type of stories that I love to hear. That means we did something, you know. I like, where are you from, Tiffany?
I'm originally from Beaumont, Texas.
Okay.
So I'm from little town, I guess medium-sized town, Texas.
The Beaumont, to be little, Beaumont has had kind of influence on people. So no, it's And you guys have had some civil rights history in Beaumont. So was there anything like Dream Week there? I mean, how did you guys celebrate? You know,
there was nothing like Dream Week there. There's, you know, different groups that celebrate in Beaumont, but there's not a huge walk like we have here in San Antonio. So tell me, in terms of Dream Week, so it started off as 1 week, and then it expanded into 2 weeks, because you all have so many activities and just stuff going on. What prompted you to do it? And then how do you keep it going? How do you keep, 200 activities, how do you keep the ball rolling with 200 activities?
Well, first of all, show. Not Podia, okay? I have to give it to show for that. I was not there at the beginning of Dream Week. I've been here for the last couple of years, but I was not there. But it's definitely show, and it's definitely the organization that he's built, the people in the administrative office that he's built, because it takes a lot of coordination. A lot of scheduling, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of 1, 2 o'clock in the morning following up emails and stuff like that. So it's definitely an organizational thing. Without that, we couldn't do it. But it's moved itself. The thing about Dream Week is it just every year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, because once you do a Dream Week event, it seems like we just got you. Now you got to tell your friends, and now they want to do it, and the ball just keeps rolling because Dream Week keeps expanding. I think people are, they're getting the idea of what Dream Week means, and they're like, I could do that too. I want to be in Dream Week next year.
Shakari Nakpodia has done a great service to San Antonio,
yes,
and to the community at large in terms of shedding light on what is the African experience, the African American experience, and the cultural experience in general around the concept of unification. I'm here with Lisa Jackson, the Public Relations Manager for Dream Week, for all of the Dream Week events that we'll be seeing in the next 2 weeks. And she is supporting the Dream Voice team with the Almighty Group. Am I saying that the Mighty Group?
The Mighty Group, yep.
That's right. I'm saying that right.
I might say that Almighty.
Almighty Group.
I might tell them to change that, but it's the Mighty Group. Yeah.
And that's led by Shakari Nakpodia, the voice and the vision behind Dream Week. Now, this is the beautiful face of public relations of Dream Week, Miss Lisa Jackson. But I want to talk a little bit about you, Lisa, because you have a very interesting storied career.
Is it?
So you look like you're 12, but you're not 12.
No, baby, I'm the big 50. I just turned 50 in October. I'm the big one. It's the big one.
This is what 50 can look like. Lisa, you are looking beautiful at 50.
The big 50.
50 is not what it was when our grandmothers were 50.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm trying to make sure I'm not there.
Oh, that's right. Okay. No. Me too. I'm fighting it all the way. I'm not aging gracefully. It's a battle, and I'm winning it.
There you go. I like that.
So tell us about, because I know you have worked with some of the biggest names in hip hop. You've worked across all. You've worked nationally. What made you tell us about your career, about how you got started, and how you've been living the dream in your own life.
And okay, living the dream. I like that. It's strange. I did social work, and it's very strange how case management and social work actually helps with this. Mm-hmm. And that's really how I actually got started. There was a hip hop group here in San Antonio, and I thought they had a wonderful record, and I couldn't figure out, why nobody was listening. Because I'm a hip hop head. I'm born in 1971, mm-hmm. So I'm a teenager in 85, 86 with all the LL Cool J's and all that.
When hip hop was just getting started.
Yeah, the golden age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a hip hop head. So and I said to myself, why is this group not getting publicity? And Houston rappers are getting all the publicity. I said, well, I'm gonna see, because that's me. So I just decided to make a showcase one day, and I just called Universal, and I called Rap-A-Lot, and I called all these labels and told them I was gonna have a showcase here, and they need to come to San Antonio and check out the artists. And they came. And I was like, oh, so all it takes is a phone call? Really? and then it was it. Once I, and that's why I said the social work. Once I understood, I had already been trained to be organized, to make phone calls, to be professional, everything through the case management. And also I'm a journalist. I was always a writer, and those things just kind of fall in place as far as being a publicist. And it just went from there. It just really went from there.
So, I think it was also tenacity. Listening to that, boy, that's a lot of tenacity to sit there and go,
That's
well,
just
you know what
bold.
I'm gonna call. I'm just gonna
I'm just
call.
gonna call Rap a Lot. I'm just gonna call him and see.
See what's up. Now, see, we all listening to this. You know, to our listeners, this is the kind of mentality that a person has to have to be an entrepreneur and to get out there and really, really change the world. If you want to change the world, then you have to think bigger and you have to think differently. Yeah. You know, you can't do what everybody else is doing.
And then I went on to represent those artists in Houston. So, you know, in the early 2000s, when Houston was everything, I wound up, and I still am, a publicist for Michael 5000 Watts, Swisher House, Zero, Just Brittany. Everybody do PR for Willie D, the Ghetto Boy, all of them in Houston. So that's funny.
You do PR for Willie D and Ghetto Boys?
Yes, Willie calls me up with his print, not Ghetto Boys, Willie D, not Ghetto Boys. But I was very good friends with Bushwick Bill before he passed away, and Reddy Red, and Willie will call me up when he needs some press releases done so he can raise hell. And so I put this stuff out for Willie D. I love him. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm from San Antonio, and I wound up representing Houston. And then, you know, that went on to representing George Clinton, and a lot of directors, R. Malcolm Jones, and just, you know, just everybody, all the reality stars, and all. It just spread. It just spread.
So what reality stars do we know that you're working with, or that you? Well,
I'm going to leave all that alone because I'm actually under contract to leave a lot of that stuff alone.
Okay.
I have represented all your love and hip hop Atlantas and growing up hip hop and different things like that. Yeah, those guys.
So what made you go with
Empire? I forgot about that. Yeah.
Wow. So you've touched just about everything that we see today.
Empire was a wild ride. I will tell you, out of all, George Clinton and Empire, when it was number one, had to be the wildest ride.
Wow. So when you work with artists like that, and then you come back to San Antonio, I know that, you know, just from talking to you, that San Antonio is your love.
Yeah, I never left San Antonio.
Your labor of love in terms of what you do and work really is here.
It's here. I never left. When I was going, you know, with Empire and Weird, Grammys and Billboard Awards, whatever, I'm flying out of SATX and coming right back home. I never moved. I never left. And I grew up on the East Side, and I love my community. And I just want to bring those skills that I learned back home to help improve the lives of the people that I love, that's my community.
And I've been watching what you do. You know, you alone have helped with the economic development of our community by pushing the arts, by pushing SACAM, by offering services at an incredibly discounted rate to hometown folks, so you could benefit the East Side.
Yeah, you know, I refuse to charge.
And I just want to make sure that our listeners and that our community recognizes that about you, about Lisa Jackson, and what Lisa Jackson as a young African American woman who is an entrepreneur and successful, what you've contributed back to our community. And all of this, you've maintained residence here, a national presence, and giving back to the community with your time, which is the most precious thing that you have, and with your skill set that people are paying gobs of money for and should be. So, you know, I thank you for doing that, because SACAM really nobody would know SACAM if it weren't for Lisa Jackson getting out there. SACAM, girl, you picture SACAM like nobody's business. SACAM is the San Antonio African American Archive and Museum.
Cultural Museum. Yeah. But
Yes.
hold on, I have to say that I may be doing the PR, but that's Deborah.
That's Deborah too. Oh, now
Deborah is definitely
you know,
leading and heading up SACAM.
I love Deborah and Heather and the entire team at SACAM because I think that Deborah's vision is unsurpassed for our community and for the African American Archive. And Museum, I mean, there is no, there would be no SACAM.
That's right.
Without Deborah. And then, of course, I always have to, I say this continuously because it is a fact. Luana Chambers Lawson really put a lot into building SACAM, into the infrastructure of SACAM. There were many African American women in this community who held it down for SACAM.
Yes, and I like to say that. I mean, because I'm just public relations manager. I'm just working with what they give me. So with Deborah and Show and a few other ones that I represent, I'm only working with what they give me. They're making these organizations.
They really are. But I will tell you that they're making those organizations. But if no one hears about it, they won't grow at the level that they're growing at. And you are are that piece of the puzzle that helps them to skyrocket.
Thank you.
It's the truth because a lot of what SACAM does has to be seen by others. Museums people aren't just rushing out to go to the museum. Somebody has to sell that notion. And Deborah had the vision and you had the just creativity to articulate that to the public and make the public want to going on a boat ride. Cool again. Black history is American history. And
let's go to the Riverwalk.
That's right. And we say that all the time. Black history is American history. Good, bad, and different, all of the scars or whatever of this nation. This is what makes our nation great. It's that we have so many different backgrounds within this culture. And you're listening to On the Record with Tiffany, and I have the wonderful pleasure of having Lisa Jackson on, and we're going to talk with Lisa some more about Black history, what's coming up, and how Dream Week kind of wraps its head around Black history and leads into it for us in this community. And we're back with On the Record with Tiffany here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, and we can be seen on the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And I'm here with Lisa Jackson. She is the public relations manager. Girl, you can't be yawning.
No, it's the allergies. We were just talking about the allergies and has me yawning.
Okay, let's start over. Let's start this over.
Yeah, let's start over.
Okay.
All right, here going 3, 2.
And we're back with On the Record with Tiffany here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And we can be seen on the African American Network Television, TAN TV, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And I'm here with my special guest, Lisa Jackson. She is the public relations manager for the Mighty Group and for Dream Voice, which airs all of the Dream Week activities.
All right.
You got it all. I got it all in there, Lisa. Okay. So there you go, Shakare Nakodia. All of everything that you are doing, we are supporting, my friend. We just want to talk a little bit about the activities that are happening during Dream Week. The last time, let's talk about the mayor's ball and the kickoff. The kickoff breakfast, because those two events I think are probably the most it's two of the most interesting events that I have ever attended, especially the mayor's ball, because it's tell our audience like what that is and what it's about.
Well, first of all, the kickoff breakfast is January the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be one of the most, like you said, anticipated events of the year. And so that's where you come and you get inspired. It's almost like it's an inspirational breakfast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll always have good speakers come in. Show is going to speak, different officials. We have a little bit of entertainment. You get a great breakfast, and it gets you geared up and get you ready to get into Dream Week, because this is where we go. We start.
Was it this past 14th? Was it the 7th?
Yes. No, it's the 14th. It was the 14th.
So who spoke? Who did?
We had show spoke, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And because this year, because of the virus, we didn't have the mayor come in, because you got to be a little bit careful. We only have one mayor.
Right.
We only have one mayor. We don't have a backup mayor in chief. So we only have one mayor. So we didn't get the mayor in this year, but we've had, entertainment and speakers and folks come in, and it's just a great time. Tiffany, you've been to a few, because I know I've seen.
Oh yes, I have.
It's just a good time. Early again. Yeah.
Are we
were at the
adjustments?
Bridge Show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying we were at the Jack Gunther this year.
So how are we doing any adjustments?
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to
the mayor's ball this year.
Well, of course it's the spacing. We just you have to.
Mm-hmm.
We care about everybody. We care about your health. We want you to come back around next year for Dream Week. So we're limiting the number of tables, and we're trying to limit the number of people that are sitting at a table. That type of thing. You're gonna have to wear your mask. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're not gonna get in without your mask. You're gonna have to wear your mask. We're gonna have the hand sanitizers, and we're gonna space.
Are there tables still available for the mayor's ball?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is January 29th of this year.
So the mayor's ball is January 29th. Where is the mayor's ball going to be held?
You know what? I'm going to have to come back to that, because I want to say one space, and I'm like, hold on, you got to get it straight. So before we leave, I'll get that to you definitely.
Okay.
The place. I love the mayor's ball, by the way.
Yes.
When you talk about diversity, as far as entertainment, it's so diverse. The hosts are usually extremely funny.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to sing. Somebody's going to do poetry. Someone's going to always have a fashion show. And then there's going to be like different cultures that come in.
Yes.
And entertain you and come through.
One year I went to the mayor's ball, and we had, I volunteered that year. It was a couple of years before COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And they had an Indian dancer, and she was amazing.
Yeah.
They had the gentleman from Rwanda that the movie Hotel Rwanda was made about.
Yes, Paul. Yeah.
He was there, and we had dancers from lots of different cultures. Actually, like it was interesting, because we had mariachi dancers. Mm-hmm. We had just everything you could think of.
We have ballet troupes come in. We've had ballet. We've had everything come in.
Each year the ballet troupes came in, and then on top of that, there were comedians. Every expression. There were two poetesses that spoke. Naomi got something to say. She spoke.
Naomi Johnson. Yes. Yes.
She was amazing. I mean, there were singers.
Always. Mm-hmm.
There's like, if you want to really enjoy the concept of Dream Week
Yes.
in all pulled together in terms in expression and in an expressive way. Going to the mayor's ball is a great way to do that, because you can see what's really happening with Dream Week.
And you support a great cause.
You support an excellent cause. When do you know what the cost for the tickets are for Mayor's Ball?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look all of that up before we go. I want to make sure.
Because
that's part of PR. You gotta be right. You got
because that'll be helpful. I mean, guys, look up Dream Week, and it's dreamweek.org. It's pretty simple. .org. www.dreamweek.org. Go look it up, because there's an activity for you there's something for everybody. There are over 200 activities. There are Dream Week speakers right now. As we are filming this, there's a whole speaker series that's going on, and they're talking about everything from business to health to arts, entertainment, you name it. There's somebody telling how they were influenced by Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of unity, how they're expressing that.
And Deborah's doing hers today. We're talking about Amawazi Jarman. Deborah's doing hers today.
That's right. And I was like, I want to hear this. But because there are just so many people who were influenced and who have changed the world and who are changing the world around them based on what Martin Luther King Jr. put into our minds and hearts with the movement that happened for civil rights for African Americans in this country. That influences my life, your life, everybody's life for the better.
Yeah.
Which is really what we need at this time in our country.
Yes.
Looking for it this time in our nation. You can't have a country with division going on, with deep-seated division and
it's okay to have different opinions, but this division is a whole nother thing.
It's a whole nother, and it doesn't have to be that way. You can express your opinion without expressing hatred. Hatred doesn't have to be a part of that.
Thank you. Isn't that simple?
It doesn't have to be a part of our dialogue.
Right.
And this event shows you all of the activities that are surrounding Dream Week are meant to showcase the diversity in how people are expressing this, but all different types of ways to express change and bettering our community. So if you're doing something that is empowering the community, you should be in contact with Dream Week.
Yes, and empowering yourself, though.
Yeah.
Even if it's just, empowering yourself. If it's something that you always wanted to say or wanted to do, and it empowers yourself and it makes you feel good, there's a place for you at Dream Week.
Yes, there is. And I love the fact that that's the whole premise behind Dream Week. Yeah. Is everyone should be heard, and let's hear from everyone. So all it takes is for you to engage and involve yourself. All it takes is go to dreamweek.org and engage. Yeah. Because engaging with your fellow man, that's how we learn from one another, and how we learn how to work together. You have to engage with one another. We're here with Lisa Jackson of Dream Voice, who is putting on Dream Week for the next 2 weeks. And Lisa and Shokare Nakpodia are making a huge difference in our community by bringing people together and bringing perspectives together. And this year, Dream Week is, every year Dream Week has a theme. And I'll let Lisa tell you about this year's theme.
Yeah. This year, our theme is our future. See, so every year it's something different, and it's always progressive, and it's always something that's open, that allows different voices and different ideas and different thoughts. So the theme is our future this year.
So based on your theme, Lisa, can you tell us, because you have such a vast array of speakers and everybody's talking about the future based on what they're doing. Can you tell our listeners what's the future according to the future of Dream Week, according to Lisa Jackson? That's what you do.
Well,
help us understand. Where do you see it going?
It's according to show. It's not according to show. Show is in charge. But man, they really made some strides. We're really wanting to expand Dream Week from just Bexar County. I mean, that's where we're working from, because we really would like the whole nation to engage in a Dream Week every year around this time. And not even the nation. They've made some sister cities outside of the United States, in Africa and in Mexico and different places, through the help of our wonderful mayor and, of course, Show. We're making strides. We just want to globalize this idea of igniting change.
Hey, that's the first thing I said when I met Show and saw this. I was like, everyone, we should be doing this everywhere.
Yes.
Because the concept of unification is one that exists across the world. Right now, as we're sitting here talking, troops are lining up on the borders in Russia. And we know that there's a lot of disunification in the world. The concepts that Martin Luther King Jr. fought for and ultimately died for still are resolute today and still resonate with people who are oppressed, regardless of their ethnic background today. When we see that in other countries, we know that that's an important notion. Hearing people and people actually expressing themselves and walking out the true purpose of their lives. You have to have things like Dream Week in order to do that. You have to, and then expand that. I mean, we want it to be a Dream Week event every year, but God, man, people, we should be living the dream every day. Dream Week should be every week of your life. That's right. Every moment of your life. If a purpose-driven life, there is nothing more satisfying, even in the most difficult moments, than walking in the true purpose of life.
And even the journey of finding that purpose has meaning.
Right.
Because I had to find it, you had to find it. We've all had to. That journey is so meaningful. So many lessons in that.
What happened when you said you started off as a social worker, and anybody that sees you now can see that your real purpose in life was to voice, to give a voice to the voiceless, and to causes that are not the sexy causes. It's kidney disease, which is what I do during the regular day. There's nothing sexy about kidney disease. It's a devastating illness, and yet you manage to make people take an interest in that. And an interest in very difficult. Those are difficult subjects to get to get the public to even acknowledge, let alone engage with. And you're managing. That's your purpose in life. You do that better than anybody else that I've seen stepping out there and voicing, giving the voiceless a voice. So,
I've always felt like that I had to do something for my people. Now, remind you, I was born in 1971, and I come from a news junkie family, right? And when my brothers and sisters and I would fight over the TV because back then, you didn't have remotes. You had that one big TV console in the den. My dad, as punishment, would put it on PBS. He's like, since y'all can't act right, I'm gonna put it on channel PBS. You're gonna watch that. Well, it wasn't punishment to me. After a while, I started liking it.
Mm-hmm.
I started liking PBS, and that's when I saw all the Novas and all the different McLeland hours, and all of this stuff came in. And I'm born in the 70s with all the Black Power and the women's movement, and just all of this stuff is going on at that time. Mm-hmm. And so I knew instinctively always that no matter what else I did in life, I had to do something else for my people, because that was the time period that I came up in. I came to high school in the Hillman days, Cosby shows and all that stuff like that, when everything was, black this, black Malcolm X hats and Spike Lee. And this was the, my 16, 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old self in that period of time. So I'm influenced by that. So no matter what I do nationally, I need to come home and do something else for my people, because that's all I know.
And I love that you always, that purpose-driven life, because once you made the decision, hey, this is where I'm going. Mm-hmm. How did you, what led you to those steps? First you start off as a social worker. After you started making calls, and just kind of noticed the group that you liked and that you wanted to promote. At what point did you go, hey, I think this is where my life needs to be?
Don't make it so dramatic, Tiffany, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I made $2,500 on one show. I was like, I'm in the wrong profession. I made $2,500 on one event. I said, I'm in the wrong profession. Let me go over there.
Yeah, because as a social worker, there's no way you didn't make $2,500 in a month as a social worker.
I was like, I made $2,500. Yeah, I know where I'm going.
Not back then.
Yeah, not back then. Yeah.
That was a lot of money. So first it was financial that said, oh, okay. This
it was good in common sense. My daddy taught me how to count.
But well, and there's something to be said for value. You knew my time is valuable, mm-hmm. and this is giving more value. This is giving me the monetary value that I need for this time that I'm spending on this.
Yeah, most definitely. And I got to do something I loved. I was a hip hop head, and so it goes back to SACAM and Dream Week and the different other companies I do. If I'm doing something I love, man, it's not a job. Mm-hmm. It's not a job.
And the hours don't matter. You plug in what you need to plug in in order to make it happen, and in order to make it work for all parties involved. That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
So after you moved on, because you knew monetarily this is going to be more successful, what kept you here and still just staying in San Antonio? Because you could have moved to LA.
No. I gotta tell you what, because it's still monetary. San Antonio was cheaper. And number two, hip hop people are always getting into arguments and fights with each other. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay out of all of that. If I move to Houston, I'll be involved. And nothing goes on in San Antonio. I'm gonna stay right here, mind my business, and do my work. Yeah, that's the only reason I stayed out, is because it's too much, as we know how rap is, no, too much.
There was too much drama going on.
Too much drama. I was like, no, let me just pay me. Just leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Let me promote you and keep on.
Yeah.
Well, that was, Empire and the Housewives, that's a lot of drama too.
Oh gosh, yeah.
There was a lot of stuff in the news, etc. On both at all times. At all times, there's always something going on. So I can understand that move. I can understand that move.
Even to this day, I'm an ambassador to San Antonio, because these celebs have come down here to see me or talk to me, and they're like, "Oh, I like this place." See, they never thought about San Antonio. They know about Houston. They know about Dallas. But they hadn't been here, and if they wind up liking it, they say, "Oh, y'all wave at people here." Yes, we do. We
Yes.
say good morning. We say yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We wave at strangers. We speak. We
San
do.
Antonio is a very beautiful, hospitable place, and
Yes.
you can live here and live your life
Yeah.
and raise your family here. It's a
That's right.
very
That's right.
family-oriented city.
That's right.
So, I have nothing but love for San Antonio because of how warm and welcoming
Yes.
our people are here, and culturally diverse. There's a lot in San Antonio.
Well, let me tell you this. Speaking of a lot, so Juneteenth, Dream Week is January 13th through the 30th, and you can find us at www.dreamweek.org. Please come to the website and check us out and see what all we have to offer. We're part of that hospitable, super great place that San Antonio is, January 13th through the 30th.
And remember, on January 13th through the 30th, that's a time for you to express your voice and your thoughts in terms of what the future is for this great nation and what we're doing here in our little part of this great nation. So get out there, engage. Look at the 200 activities that are a part of Dream Week, and pick one and go and see what's happening. If you're afraid to get out, pick one and Zoom and see what's happening.
There you go.
But check it out, because you remember, we're all more alike than we are different. And that's the whole premise of On the Record with Tiffany, is that we are more alike than we are different. And we have to see and hear the other in order to be our very best. Yes. So with that, you've been listening to On the Record with Tiffany. Thank you, Lisa Jackson, for coming out.
Thank you.
Everybody go and check out a Dream Week event. Go to dreamweek.org and look at the events. Pick yourself one. You
come to the mayor's ball.
That's right. Buy yourself a ticket. The mayor's ball.
Yeah, 125 for single, and we got group rates, and it's January 29th, and the mayor will be there, and a whole bunch of other people flame throwing plates, and who knows? You never know what you're gonna see. Ball throwing monkeys.
Ball is fun. So remember, that's going to happen on January 29th, and there are still tickets and tables available. So go to dreamweek.org and reserve your table. Check out all of the fun activities and get yourself involved, because in order for us to have a great nation, then we need all of our great people out there doing and engaging and talking. Dialogue has to be open. So you've been listening to On the Record with Tiffany here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, and you've been watching on TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And I thank you, and we'll see you again next week.